We've talked a lot on this channel about the value of LLCs, limited liability companies. There are a lot of entities on the internet offering to set them up for you. So let me tell you a couple of things that you should be getting when you're setting up an LLC. Setting up an LLC is not just filing with the Department of State here in Pennsylvania. It should also involve you getting what's called an operating agreement. Even if it's just you and you're the only person involved, you want an operating agreement that lays out your rights as to that LLC. There are a lot of reasons you'll need it. You'll need it for banks, you'll need it for loans, you'll need it for real estate. You'll need it also at some point when you want to expand the scope of your LLC and you want it to prove that you are the owner. It's a lot of important reasons to have an operating agreement. It's especially important when you have more than one owner because the operating agreement is going to determine how you vote on conflict, who helps to make final decisions in the case of a conflict, and also how you buy each other out at the end of the agreement once the company is being sold or whatever you have going on at the end. Another thing you're going to want with your LLC after you file and get your operating agreement is an EIN. An EIN is an employer identification number. The EIN is a federal number that allows you to set up a tax ID. This tax ID is what's going to be used on all of your tax returns. It's what allows you to get a lot of the tax benefits from specialized treatment of LLCs that you can do when you set it up. So that's another thing you should be getting. Another thing you should get when you set up your LLC is your registration under the Corporate Transparency Act. This is a new federal statute that says that here in 2024, within 90 days of setting up a new LLC, you have to tell the federal government who owns it. Starting next year, it'll be within 30 days, so they're going to kind of ratchet that up. So if you're setting up an LLC, you should definitely have that included in whatever's getting set up for you. Another thing your LLC might need is what's called a bill of sale. If you've been using your tools personally or your work van, or maybe you've got a shop set up with a bunch of equipment and you've decided, hey, now's the time I need to go ahead and get official, set up an LLC, start doing this business, the right way sort of. At that point, you need a bill of sale showing that you transferred all those assets over into the LLC. This is important if you ever get sued to keep your business assets separate from your personal assets so that nobody can say that you're basically playing fast and loose with your LLC. Other things that you're going to want with the LLC, you want tax advice. You want to talk to either an accountant or a lawyer about how you should be treated as an LLC and how you should be keeping your books. Another thing you're going to want is advice on how to make sure that no one can pierce your corporate veil. A lawyer should be able to explain to you the ways in which you're going to want to keep that LLC safe in the future so that nobody can come in and sue and claim that by being fast and loose with your LLC that you don't get the protections of it. There are a lot of other things that a good lawyer should be able to help you with. If an entity is setting it up for you online, they may not be advising you about contracts you need or about other information you're going to need to have ready that's specific for your line of work. I'm not necessarily saying not to set something up online, but I am saying make sure that whatever price you're being quoted includes all of those things and isn't just a short version where they say, oh, we'll file you on with the Department of State, but they don't do any of these other steps. That's not helpful to you when you're setting up your business.